So this is the piece here. It is 11 charlotte cuts, and I use the 2 needle method on this. I have my nice cab in the middle and just a really simple design. So this is what I'm going to be working on today. So I have a size B Nemo thread here that I'm going to use, and I also have size 10 beading needles. It's what I had close by. As long as your needle isn't too big, you're okay. Just use what you have. So here I have my 1 needle. It is double thread. The threads are knotted at the end. I'm going to take my double threaded needle, and this cab has 2 holes on the end, so I'm going to use it and just tack down the ends to make it nice and secure, and I'm going to do that on both ends. So I'm just going to bring my needle up at the point, and I'm going to leave a little bit of space between the cab and the needle to allow for the bead to sit nicely along the edge. You don't want to cram it right up against, because that's when you get buckling and your beads get too squished together. Okay, let's get started here. So I have my other side of my earring with my cab. I've sewn it on and it's been glued on. My very first row that's going to go around the cab. And I have my other needle here. It's got the one loose strand and it's been knotted on 1 thread. Get a few beads down here, wrap my finger around, and you'll figure out which way that you're comfortable doing it. Some people have a hard time doing 2 needle, so here's my single strand, and I'm going to bring that up on the inside of the bead, flush up with the cab, and then I'm going to pull it, and then my needle will go down on the other side of the bead, and then I'll tighten that thread, and I'm just going to continue doing that, and I'm going to do every second bead. I'm going to come up and then back over on the other side, up and back over on the other side. And because this is an alternating pattern, I know that my needle will come up ahead of a pink bead. So up on the inside and down on the outside. Okay. Up on the inside, down on the outside. I like to do my tutorials step by step, and that way even the most beginner can learn how to do it. And understand the steps that need to happen. So down on the other side, and just keep working your way around. Up on the inside, down on the inside, or whatever, something like that. So now all you're going to do is you're going to repeat that on the outside. And because this is coming around kind of a real sharp corner, I am going to do in between every bead. So I've come up on the blue bead, and I'm going to go down on the other side, and then I'm going to come up on the pink bead and down on the other side, just to give it a nice finish around that corner. So I'm just at the end here. I've tacked down almost all of the beads, and my pattern has fit perfectly, which is like such a bonus and so awesome. And this is my double threaded needle, and I'm just gonna pass it through a few of those beads, and I'm gonna close that up. And then I'm going to bring it down to the underside. And that's going to help me finish up my first row. So I have my single thread, and I just have a few more beads to tack down. And because this is the corner, I'm going to tack down every bead to finish up this row. There. So that's the first row. Whoops. That's the first row. I have my double thread, and because when I finished that row, I passed it back to the underside, and now I'm ready for my second row. I don't want to start on this corner just because it kind of doesn't have a smooth flow to it, I find. So I'm going to, because it's such a sharp corner, so I'm going to, you can see my needle, my thread is right here. So I'm going to try to bring it up kind of close to that so I don't have a lot of long threads on the back. And you can see that I'm not coming up right against the beads. I am coming up slightly over to allow room for them to sit nicely so that they're not crammed. And then I am going to string a whole bunch of blue beads. Right off the hank. Just pull them onto my thread. So I have my beads ready to go. Same thing as last time, snug them up to the end of the thread. I have my tacking needle here, and then I'm just gonna sort of gently lay those beads next to the previous row of beads, up one side, down the other side. Okay, so I'm about to finish up my row again, and I have enough beads to fit in there. So I'm going to take my double threaded needle that's holding my beads, and I'm going to pass it through 3 or 4 beads and pull it tight, and then pass it to the back. And then I have my single thread for tacking down, and I'm just gonna go and finish up tacking down that last row. So there you have 2 rows of 2 needle beading, and you're gonna come do that for every row. And I have 1, 2, 3 more rows to go, and then I'll be done this pair of earrings. So there is the 2 needle beading method. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.